walking by this. How does it feel to be the one speaking that they're walking by?
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. I mean, I used to always, like you said, as a player, walk through, go to the locker room, exit the practice fields, and now, being up here talking to you guys, more frequently, it's going to be fun.
Zach, I know you're focused on week one, but was it exciting to see the homecoming game for Dallas show up as early on the schedule as it did in week 3?
Oh man, yeah, it was exciting. It was exciting. I mean, just for opportunity I got a lot of family and friends who are big Baltimore Ravens fans for the last, 10, 11 years. So just an opportunity for those guys to come to the game and get a chance to go back home and see them. I don't get a chance to see a lot of family, especially during the season. So yeah, I was definitely excited that it is going to happen a little early.
Zach, a lot of guys, Kyle Hamilton yesterday talked about how he developed a relationship with you, even that position coach. How has it helped you as a defensive coordinator sort of seeing what's transition to coaching these guys?
It definitely helps, man. I think just the coaching culture that we have here, man, like every coach coaches everybody. Now, obviously, when you're a position coach, you focus on your guys, but I mean, we're a family here. So I've always, as a linebacker coach, I know the D-line, the safeties, the corners, the offensive guys. We all got a great relationship. We move on one accord. So that's definitely easier once you have that relationship. They know what type of man you are, what type of coach you are. It's easier for that transition to happen.
Zach, when you look at the defense and just even in terms of the scheme or even terminology, when you have so many guys leave and some of these guys stay in the division, coaches have gone to teams that you guys may have on your schedule, how much do you feel like you have to change and how much can you keep the same?
Man, I don't think you have to change the language much at all. I mean, like I said, we've been building this system for a long, long time. I mean, since 2018, and the people that were here that are at other places, they'll tell you it's like the game plan gonna change week to week. So based off what you do is basically how we're gonna play you. So I don't really think that's an advantage or something that we think about a lot. We just gonna do what we do and play how we play.
Zach, with the play calling, how comfortable do you feel a few practices in now calling plays? And how did you practice before practices started calling plays?
It's taking it day by day. You definitely get more comfortable. I think Coach does a great job. Coach Harbaugh does a great job of putting us in these game-like situations, even as play callers and as coaches. I mean, we always do move the ball. We do call it periods where there is no sprint. You have to call it and you have to think on the fly and use your play calling sheet. And just how I prepare, man, just go back and when I'm watching the film or watching games from last year, just looking how I would call it, looking at the situation, trying to put myself in those shoes. And then just before practice, just reviewing my play call sheet and just trying to play out scenarios in my head that could possibly come up.
Zach, do you remember as a player if you ever got a play call from your coordinator and you're like, man, I wish I could call a play right now?
Definitely. I mean, when you're a player, you think that a lot of times you think you got all the answers. You're like, man, we could do this, we could do that. But when you step back and you become a coach and you become a play caller, you kind of see the bigger picture of things. You're not just thinking about just your one particular area or position that you're playing. You take a step back and think about the whole game.
Zach, Kyle Hamilton, he was a first-team All-Pro a year ago. He did so many things. What is his next step? Do you have him do more? Do you have him more deep this year? How do you deploy him?
I mean, man, Kyle Hamilton, the ultimate chess piece, man. I think he's one of the top players in the league. My goal for him is to, one day win the defensive MVP here in the league. I think he's that type of talent. He has that type of work ethic. He's that type of person. Like I said, the thing about him being the ultimate chess piece, depending on what the offense does, you can play anywhere. You can play safety, deep safety, box safety. You can play corner. You can play nickel. You can play backer. You can even play outside linebacker too. And you guys know he can rush the passer. So the thing that you appreciate about Kyle Hamilton is he works at it. He's a smart player, so he can handle all the different volume that you get him. And I think he's eager going into his third year to do more. So we'll see.
Zach, with that in mind, identifying a number 3 or a third safety to go with with Kyle and with Marcus Williams, that you can deploy Kyle in different ways. Is that a priority for you right now in terms of your internal options, seeing who can maybe emerge to replace that Geno Stone role at the very least?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, with Kyle being the ultimate chess piece, like the third safety position is important. I feel like we got some great in-house candidates that are working their butts off since day one, man. So we're excited. They had a good first 3 days to practice, so we're excited to see where it goes. But yeah, that position is important.
Zach, that first 4 weeks of schedule, you got Mahomes, Prescott, Allen. How does that feel as first year coordinator? Are you sort of, does it just kind of like make you alert? How do you feel going into that part of the schedule?
Man, it was funny because Coach was talking about this the other day. He said everybody in this league is good. And if you're not prepared and you're not doing things the right way, you'll lose and get your butt kicked by anybody in this league. So yeah, you respect the guys. We respect the team, the quarterbacks, the coordinators that we're going to face as a defense. But we honestly believe if we prepare the right way, we play how we're supposed to play. It's not going to really matter, who we're playing or when we're playing.
Zach, there's a number of former NFL linebackers who went on to be great coaches, right? D'Amico Ryan, Vrabel, Geronimo, Antonio Pierce. What is it? Do you take any inspiration and tips, and what is it about being an NFL linebacker that helps you be a good coach?
I definitely take inspiration from that, just playing the position. I mean, all those guys you named, D'Amico Ryan, Mike Vrabel, Antonio Pierce, those guys are great players. I grew up watching those guys. And I just think the linebacker position, you're in the middle of the defense. You have to be able to understand what's going on up front, understand what's going on behind you, understand what's going on beside you in the run game and in the pass game. So you have to be, you in all those meetings. They say run game meeting, linebackers in there. We say pass game meeting, linebackers in there, okay? Protection meeting, blitz meeting, linebackers in there. So you're everywhere. You have to have a grasp of the whole defense and how it fits together because you're in the middle of it. You have to execute a lot of jobs, and you also have to get everybody lined up because when people want to know the call, or people want to know where they got to go, they're going to look at you just like how they look at Roquan Smith now.
Kind of going off of that, Roquan came and took ownership of the defense pretty much as soon as he came here. Now that you're out here with players, how much easier has it made things that you already have that relationship with him as he has that connection with the entire defense?
Man, it's good. I mean, me and Ro, we built a great relationship since he got here. We continue to build on it. I know he knows how I roll. I know how he rolled. We're comfortable talking to each other, sharing ideas, sharing thoughts with one another. We respect one another. And so it's easier, man, for real. And when you have a guy like Roquan Smith in your building, like everybody has preached time and time again, I mean, he's one of the best players in the league, one of the best humans walking this earth. And then when you have one of your best players being one of your best workers, I mean, everybody else looks at that and gets inspired, not just players, just coaches and everybody in the building. So, him still being here is a blessing for all of us.
Zach, I feel like the last few years on the sideline, you're a really animated, passionate coach. And I'm just looking at you in two practices. It's a little bit different when you're the coordinator. Was that a conscious decision or what?
Yeah, I got to calm myself down a little because, now after a play, I celebrate. Now I got to get ready to get the next call. Like, I can't celebrate too hard. And like in previous years, I'm just listening, waiting to hear the call. But now everybody's looking at me like, what's the call? What's the call? So I have to keep it, mild tone now. I'm still going to express my excitement when the time is right. But I definitely have to be aware of that because things get moving quick, and you have to be planning ahead. All right, you got the call. What's the next call you thinking? Okay, what's the down this? What situation? What have you done before? What do you want to do next? So you definitely have to be more conscious. So it won't be as much animations on the sideline as previous, but it's all good.
Sorry, along those lines, I forget if we asked at your introductory presser, but do you have an idea yet of where you'll be calling plays during the season?
Yeah, I'm gonna be on the sideline.
Zach, Trenton Simpson is a player that young is now stepping in for a big role. At one point, you had to do something similar to that. Just what are your first impressions of him, and what's it been like coaching and working with him?
Man, it's been great, man. Trent been great since day one, and nothing has changed. Like the thing I loved about Trent when he first got here, we kind of knew talking, to the people at Clemson and people close to him through the draft process that this dude's a hard worker. He's competitive. He's gonna do whatever he needs to do to continue to get better every single day, and he did that, man. Even last year when he knew the situation he was in, probably wasn't gonna play a lot, which he didn't. He came in every day prepared like a starter. All right, so now you look at the situation where he's in a role now where he got a chance to compete for the starting job. Man, he's even working even harder, which is crazy because he was already going 100%. So I've been real impressed with him. He's looked good these first 3 days. He's been here the whole offseason program. You can see the difference in him. Guys like him, Tavius Robinson, Malik Ham, all these second-year players that from their rookie year, they starting to take that jump, which is exciting to see as a coach.
Zach, whether it's guys you played with, guys you played under, or guys you coached with, have you reached out to any of your former defensive coordinators to pick their brain a little bit about kind of making the jump and play calling and just kind of how they break down their week and all that?
Not necessarily. I mean, we've had those conversations before, Honestly, we haven't really had much time really to sit down. Now, some of the casual conversations have happened maybe at like the combine, but not nothing too in depth. Like I said, I think the good thing about it is just relationship that we've had, that I've had with obviously Mike McDonald, Wink when he was here when I was working, and even DP. I got an inside look to see like how they broke the game down, all in their own different way. You know, how they saw the game, how they thought about calling it, and how they broke down their call sheet. So just took those nuggets from those guys and tried to mix it in with my thoughts.
Like, what's been your observations of Nate now that you've had an opportunity to work with him a little more?
Man, I'm excited about Nate, man. Nate's a hard worker. He's great in the classroom. He's a real smart football player, and then the athletic ability speaks for itself. Like, obviously, he's still young. He's still got a lot to learn and a lot to work on, but if he continues to work hard like how he's working in the classroom and on the field, I'm really excited about what he's going to be able to do for us this year.